Welcome back to Pitcher U. This week we're going to be talking about taking time off and the importance of it, both out of season and also in season. This is something that as a coach I've made my pitchers do for since I started. She hated it at first.
I love it.
Yeah, you do. And it's something that's really, almost sometimes frowned upon, but definitely not prioritized for youth athletes, especially pitchers. And that's not to say that working hard and putting the work isn't important. You have to do that. There's no other way to master your craft, but there has to be time off. Physically, your body needs a break. You're pitching 5-6 days a week. You're playing almost year round, at least in California. So when you have the opportunity, your body needs a break. Your body has to be able to recover because you beat it up so much. So at the end of summer season or travel season, there's not as much time to take off. So I try to get my girls to take a solid week off because that's usually about all that they can do. And then after fall season, then we have a little bit more time with the holidays and everything. I really try to push for at least 10 days, but really 14 days or maybe more depending on the athlete. Like Nicole, she loves her time off. So, talk about what you do. After season, talk about what you do.
Yeah. So, before I got to college, travel ball, like she said, I didn't really like taking breaks that much. But she forced me. And then I was like, oh, this isn't that bad after a little bit. But
Why didn't you like it at first though?
So I didn't like it because, like she was saying, there's this preconceived notion that you can't take breaks, and if you take a break, then you're going to get passed up, or you're not going to know how to pitch anymore, and you're going to suck, and everything that you just worked on for that whole years, whatever, is just going to be thrown out the window. It's not the case. You still know how to pitch. Your body still knows how to pitch. So really, it's a physical but also mental break. It helps prevent burnout, and it makes you kind of want to get back to it, which is important.
Also lets you be a kid.
Yeah.
That's so important. Even the college athletes, right? I'm older, so I just think of them all as kids. But even as a pro athlete, I needed a break. I needed to be able to step back and just be a normal person. So I wanted to just hang out with my friends. I didn't want to have to get up and go to the gym or have obligations that I have to go practice and I have to do this, and I just want to live.
Yeah.
That's huge. But when you're young and figuring out who you are and how you fit into the world, it's so important to be able to have that balance in life. Yeah, and I think it's even worse now for your generation with social media and everything, because I didn't have that growing up. So I just got to when I took time off, it was just off.
Yeah.
There was nothing. So my guess is it's much harder now.
Yeah.
With social media.
Yeah, especially with all those expectations that are put on you, but learn to enjoy it, learn to love it, and then
So in travel ball after fall season, because that's when you can take off the most time. How long would you usually take off?
I think that was between 1 week to 2 weeks over winter break, so I could enjoy the holidays and not have to worry about asking my dad to go catch me on Christmas. So we'd usually take 1 to 2 weeks off during winter break, and then the summer I think I was able to take some time off, maybe a week, probably no more.
Yeah, when you have tryouts and you have things, so it's hard to take more than that off usually.
I don't even know if I had that. Maybe end of summer for sure there was a time to take a little bit of a break, but at the beginning I don't remember breaks.
That's fair, it was a long time ago.
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
ago.
But in college, during winter break, that's a lot of a shorter break. Right when I get home, it's usually a week, because we're home for a month, I think. So usually that first week, just let myself reset, hang out with my friends, family, whatever, and just not really think about softball. Summer break, I take a lot of time off. Summer, I don't really pitch until before I have to go back to school. So, but I think that's fine because, I'm going on vacations, I'm doing things that I can't do, obviously during the season, so it makes me feel normal. I get refreshed, on vacation, being able to sleep in, all of that. So that's the mental reset I need. I know other people are fine with a 1 to 2 week break off and then they start practicing, but I do not work that way. I'm exhausted after a season, so I enjoy the time because I know that I deserve that. So,
and just to be clear, she doesn't deserve that because her team won. She deserves it because of the work that she put in.
Months
I want to
months.
make that very, very clear because your record and how your team does is completely independent of whether or not you're deserving of a break.
Yeah. So even in travel ball, like if you, I don't know, let's just say you just lost what tournament? Is it still PGF?
PGF Alliance, those are the big ones.
Yeah. Lost a championship game, like you feel like you don't need a break or deserve a break. Like that's not the case, like she was saying. Like your results and how your season ended, or, you know, after the fall, whatever it may be, that doesn't mean you don't deserve a break, because you don't need to be grinding yourself into the ground. So breaks are necessary.
And they're so good for you. We take breaks in everything else. We take breaks from work. We have breaks from school. You know, other hobbies we'll take breaks from because we get bored with them. So it's completely normal and healthy to step away from softball for however long you need. There's no right amount.
I think parents need to know that too, like not guilt tripping your kids into...
And coaches.
And coaches, yes. Parents and coaches, this one's for you. Don't guilt trip your players into winter break when they're hanging out with their family, friends, enjoying the time off, to be like, you need to be doing this every single day. Like, no, you can take a break and that's okay. We need to normalize that a lot more. So
Agreed.
Yeah. And
Definitely
then
agreed.
even in season, so obviously you're not taking weeks off, but in college, in the fall, you know, you get, like, Sundays were usually off for us. So the beginning of the fall, I mean, it looks different for everybody. An off day could be very productive, like housework or shopping or cleaning, whatever it is, or it could just be doing nothing. So I know I was pretty healthy balance between the two. Beginning of the fall, I would just not do anything. I would wake up, I'd sleep in, I'd wake up, I'd eat, I'd go back to bed and watch TV or read a book or just do something in bed so I wouldn't really move. But the fall is also a lot harder and more exhausting, so that probably makes a little bit more sense. And then, you know, towards the end of it or during preseason, a lot of my off days looked like catching up on the week, so laundry, cleaning the house, running errands, grocery shopping.
Life stuff.
Yeah, normal things that people have to do that you can't not do. So getting around to those things, but it's still not focused on softball. I'm just doing things that I need to do or things that I enjoy, whatever it may be. So.
And it's really important to make sure that you schedule a day off from softball every week. You know, when you're in season, you don't really have the option to go less than, well, definitely not less than 5, but in college, like, it's 6 days a week. In season, preseason, fall season, you have to make sure that you schedule a day off from everything softball. Mm-hmm. So it's not just a day off from pitching, but you're going to go hit. Like, you need to get away from the sport for a day.
Yeah, like weights and, well, in college, like, there was days where we didn't have weights, but we had practice or practice and we had weights, like with the hours and everything. But
yeah,
a full day off, not like don't even think about it.
Yeah. Yeah, like, you can be active, like, go for a walk.
Yeah.
Or if you, like, just love running and you feel good, like, go for a run. That's fine, but it's just, like, step away from the sport or anything that's related to the sport.
Yeah.
And then that being said, you're going to have days where you have practice and you're, like, just dead. And you just, oh, God, I don't have it in me to do this today. That's fine. Like, listen to yourself. Listen to your body. You don't, just because you're at practice doesn't mean that you have to just be, like, all out, give it everything you have if you don't have it that day. It's like, how many days a week would you actually throw full in a bullpen on average during season?
Probably like 3 to 4. I'd end up throwing full every day, but it would be very short. The day before a game, my routine looked a lot different than the first day of the week. I would always like to throw full, but I would throw like 10 pitches. Other pitchers didn't even like to throw full. They would do spins and then walkthroughs, which I did probably like freshman through junior year. On those days, long toss, spins, you know, spin work, working with the half balls, whatever, and then calling it. But this year I did more full because it was all just like routine, mental.
Yeah,
stuff.
so you did,
but it was very
you did
short.
what you needed.
Yeah.
And it's not to say that when you're doing a less intense workout that you're not focused, you're not working to get better, you're just working with what you have that day. Long toss, you're not just going out there and just like whipping the ball as far as you can and calling it a day. Like, you're focused on mechanical leverage, you're focused on extending through the ball or whatever it is, like a spin, whatever it is. So you're still very focused, but you're listening to your physical body and what you need that day. Because that's really what it's all about. It's managing yourself so you're at your best for your upcoming games while still being able to get something out of the practice, because we don't want to waste time either.
Yeah. So like the intensity of the workout or bullpen can be lower, but the intent in that bullpen should still be high, whatever you are doing. Or even if you don't have it all that day, like if you're at 70%, then just give all of that 70% that day. You're not always going to be living at a high, and that's normal.
Yes. Yes, it is.
So.
Moral of the story, take care of yourself. Take care of the whole person and not just the athlete. Don't give in to this narrative that you have to be throwing every day, hitting every day, practicing every day. That's not sustainable. You're going to end up getting burnt out, hating the sport. You're going to have a lot more injuries. There's just not a lot to gain from that. Take care of yourself. Enjoy your life.
Because you have to be mentally good and feeling good to be able to do the things that you want to do on the field. So it can't all just be softball. Like, you have to keep your brain in check too. Having those off days, or there's those spaces where you're just normal, allows you to reel yourself back in a little bit.
Absolutely. Let us know what you think.
Bye! I got excited.